That's it. Mr. Safety, yeah, today.
This is that's Cheba, can you please restate your full name with the court? Amanya Gomo one. I'm Chamber Nathan Mwangose. I want to request you, Chamber, to speak louder so you can get Emiwendo. How old are you, Chamber? Oh, you know, I can make you. I'm 30 years.
Where do you stay?
Obeera wacha. I stay Kigamba zone. Uganda zone.
Do you remember making an affidavit in support of Nandi in this matter?
Ojjukira nga wakolako ekirayiro kyonna mpakana n'omusango
kijjukira bulungi mukama wange.
Is that the affidavit that you made?
Ekyo lawyer wo kyakuwadde kyekyo ekirayiro kyewakola.
Ekisooka ekitiibwa omulama.
This is that support side.
Where did you make that affidavit from?
Wakikolera wa ekirayiro ekyo?
Kyali kikolera mu recognition.
I made this affidavit from the Electoral Commission.
Which electoral commission?
Electoral Commission yawa.
Yawa ni Block 13. Block 13.
How did you make the oath?
Wakikola otya ekirayiro ekyo?
Nkwata Bible nga bwe ngikutte. And I
got hold of the Bible and took oath.
My lord, that affidavit has already been written and witnessed.
I'm good to see you, my lord. I have some questions for Nathan. You are 30 years old.
Nathan oyina emyaka 3 egy'obukulu.
And what do you do?
So I have 30 years. Okola mulimu.
mvuga boda boda.
Bodaboda.
At which stage?
For stage ki?
Senior stage.
I don't have stage.
And what is the registration number of your bodaboda?
Bodaboda yo eri registration number.
Mbadde nkozesebwa mbadde nawe bw'olinayo okumpaayo kuba sirina kati kaabitwala naye nga sikijjukira.
I don't have particular bodaboda right, but right.
Do you recall any registration number of any bodaboda you've ridden the last
cut? Ojjukira ku bodaboda ezo z'ogambye ez'okugeza enjawulo gy'osembye wakyo namba yayo.
Njijjukira bulungi.
That one I can remember.
Just tell us now.
Eri namba ki?
Eriyo igi 369 stroke T.
UEG 369D.
You've told the court that you saw an affidavit at the electoral commission.
Ogambye kooti eno walayira ekirayiro mu electoral commission.
Yes, sir.
Will you please direct us where it's physically located, where you took the oath from?
Osobola okulagirirawo kooti eno bulungi awo wakolera ekirayiro
Sobola bulungi.
I can direct what?
Otamu nzoli. Road 13.
Where? Which road is that?
The good nature road. Road 13. Chadondo. Oh yeah, Tango.
Do you have a copy of your national ID?
National ID.
National zirina yagwa.
I lost my national ID.
In which year were you born?
Bakuzala mwaka ki?
Nzaalibwa 1994 mu mwezi gw'omwenda nga 21.
I was born in 1994, September 21st.
Let us first take you to the averment you made before court.
Kati lawyer yayagala kutwalako nayo ewayogera nayo
Ndimwetegefu.
You told court about the parking. Please tell us, this parking here called Ziyamba. How far is it from the polling station where you got it from?
Elimita nga 10.
The parking yard is about 100 meters.
What time did you reach there?
Watuukawo saawa
Saawa za 6 kuba nasobola kubyanja.
about noon.
At what time did you pass your vote?
Saawa zalimeka basuulira kalulu.
Saawa zalinga 7.
Was around 1 p.m. when I cast my vote.
And which people, tell us which people you phoned at the, whom you knew, whom you phoned at the polling station, whom you knew by name.
Obutajjukira bulungi bantu kiwasinkana awo batuuse kumukira
Whom you knew.
omanyi.
Nasanawo nawe kyali wangamu kya muwanguzi wakati.
I phoned my Charlie or Robert, my friend.
Where does Robert stay?
Robert has
Robert abeera ku Zion.
stays at Zion Park.
That's where his home is.
Era wabeera ddala amakage
Amakage sigamanyi naye kutwalira wakulira.
where he works from. Where
And where is your home yourself?
ate gwe
Nange mbeera mu Kiganda naye Ssaako siriiwo.
I also stay in Chiganda, but at the moment no longer.
You talked about the answer called Sylvia Natural.
Waliwo kansala gwayogeddeko ayitibwa Sylvia Natural.
Musero.
Which area does she represent and where?
Akiikirira kitundu ki?
That's Ejisingira.
Akiikirira waali.
Mmanyi bulungi kikansala LC5 Kawempetu.
I know as councillor.
She represents which part, which area?
Akiikirira wa?
Kawempetu Kawempetu.
So Sylvia represents Kawempe too.
Akiikirira
Is that your answer?
Kawempetu.
LC5. Kansala LC5 one.
No, I'm asking.
Kalubaliko.
You said you know her very well. So which area does she represent and where? Does she represent the division and the municipality or what?
Akiikirira wa division, akiikirira ku municipality, akiikirira.
Esibitegeera bulungi twasigenda yawo.
How do you know that she's new? You don't know politics.
Kati ate ebyobufuzi obimanyi lwaki omanyi nti wano.
Nkimanyi kuba bwe nasanga nabwe nasanga nga okuolwo olunaku oba nemabegako obumanyi kubanga kinkakatako okumanya abantu b'ekitundu ekyo.
I know her because
Kuba ndi Munnayuganda kinkakatako okumanya ekigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga.
I'm a resident in that
Good,
place.
that is very good. Now I'm going to ask you about what's going on in the country.
Kati agenda kubuuza ku ebyo engeri gy'omu-
Where does Natural stay? Natural, so
Natural
agambye mumanyi bulungi. Where does
agambye
she
mumanyi
stay?
bulungi abeera wa
Mumanyi oba omulesa mulabako.
abeera wa kubuuza abeera wa.
Manyi kimu nti yakiikirira kandi simanyi wasula.
I don't know where it stays. I know
Where does she represent Kawempe? Yes. The pastor, most of like, where or which state does she represent? Kawempe too.
oba gyakiikirira omumanyi nga kansala nyakiikirira
kansala kitunga kikira
Embeeramu.
represents on X5 in the place where I reside.
and for how long has she represented that area?
Amaze ebbanga ki ng'akiikirira ekitundu?
Sijja kumanya kintu kuba sirina byabutuzi sibigoberera nnyo.
I don't know the period he has spent because I'm not.
You just report, Mr. Muwanguzi, that it's incumbent upon you to follow current affairs. So it's just, this is one of the basic things in current affairs. How long has she represented that area?
Naye ogambye ogoberera nnyo ebigenda mu ggwanga olina okumanya amaze ebbanga ki ng'abakiikirira.
Kati ngolera binkwatako okusinga.
I only follow what
Yenetaaga.
concerns me.
Nga simanyi.
Is knowing her political affiliation one of those things that concern you?
Kati okumanya
Knowing her political party, is it one of those things that concern you?
okumanya ekibiina kye mwava kyokka kyokka gwe kikwata
Kyekimu ku ebyo
ekimu ku ebyo bikwatako.
Bingi. Naye
Someri kino eki ayina someri.
And for how long have you known Ben Talemukasa?
Ate Ben Ntale Mukasa omumanyi tebanda.
mulabidde akaseera akawerako oyo myaka nga 10.
Ben Ntale Mukasa known him for about 10 years.
Where does he stay?
Abeera wa Ben
Yenetaaga abeera mu Kiganda.
stays in Uganda.
You know his home?
Omanyi waabeera ddala watu maka
Agamu ku go ensonga abayinalimu bayina imanyiko zirimu ku ddyo.
Please tell us the one which you know. Describe the home, how the home looks like. Ben Talemukasa.
agosinga omanyi ennyo yatubuulira.
Babeera mu Kiganda batatuuka ku muzikiti. Kirira mu Kiganda.
One of his homes is at Uganda near the hospital.
My question, Mr. Sempike, was let him describe how the home looks like.
Amakaye kati gannyonnyola galabika gatya kubanga ogamanyi ndabika yaago osobola okinyonnyola koti.
Kaliko ekikomera.
Kyaze perimeter wall. Yongera onnyonnyole ekikomera.
Naye sikiriza kuyingizaamu naye nsobola okusongera ng'ekikomera kiikyo wabbeera.
So,
Wasina
I
kineetaaga.
can only show you the perimeter wall of this.
Mr. Muwanguzi, on this day when you're going to vote, you phone both Sylvia and Ben Talemukasa. Does Ben Tale have any particular office? Does he hold any particular office in that area, political office?
Olunaku olw'okulonda wasisinkana Sylvia Nakiwabe ne Ntale Ben. Naye Ntale Ben alina ofisi ye y'omanyi gyasangibwa eyo ofisi wasangibwa.
Sitegeera nnyo kuba sigenda nnyo njawulo ofizi ebyo sitegeera bulungi ebyo.
That one, I don't know, I don't make a call up on.
Mr. Muwanguzi, I need to remind you what you just told the court, that you follow current affairs.
Naye jjukira
So you don't choose what you follow and what you don't follow.
wagambye eddako nti ogoberera linnya ligenda mu ggwanga.
Secondly, you told us that you've known Ben for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm asking the question, does he hold any political office?
Kati ne Ben eno gambye mumanye ebbanga ddene emyaka 10 omanyi ofisi ye esangibwa.
Kyetaaga kumanya ofiisi ye kuba
No, if you don't know, my answer is whether you know or not.
I
Don't you know your
his
opinion?
office.
Do you know or you don't?
Omanyi wayesangibwa oba tomanyi?
No, if he has, not to be standing. A political office like councillor, chairman, that's what I'm asking, not a physical one.
Okimanyi talina office.
The chief of
manyi owuwe wegambye simanyi ofiisi simanyi wakolera naye kimanyi kansala LCCB mu Kiganda zone.
I know his home and I only know that the councillor
Which area does he represent?
akiikirira kitundu ki?
Kiganda zone Kawempe 2. Kawempe 2.
Uganda zone in Kawempe.
So, apart from the two and Muwanguzi, your friend, which other people were at Zion?
Kati okuva ku bana ababiri naawe Abalala baali awo side back.
Bangi babeera olunaku naye saasobola kumanya ku lunaku olwayibuna.
Now I'm asking, did you know any other person there that day? I'm talking about what happened on polling day.
Olunaku lw'okulonda lwennyini olina kubantu abalala bewalabawo bomanyi okyakikira.
Alaba bangi.
It is mentioned too, apart from the ones I've mentioned.
Naye tumenyeyo abantu bakiri babiri ojjukira baali.
You don't know any.
Bamanyi naye bamanyi face.
So you
Bamanyi banyagala.
don't know the names. When you are walking to your polling station, Clinton Junior School,
The way to the police station is not through the parking yard, correct? Kakati umwe oba ogenda kumulondera ku you don't go through the parking yard. Ekkubo erikutwalira mu parking yard ya Zayyo.
Simulya bulungi.
Bw'oba ogenda ekifo ekyo ky'okulondera mu Clinton Junior School, ekkubo erikutwala
you don't have to go through the parking yard.
liyita mu parking yard oba teriyita parking yard? It doesn't go through parking yard.
In fact, most of the people who voted at Clinton didn't go through the parking yard or didn't pass by the parking yard.
Era kitagamba kituufu abantu bonna abagenda okulonda tebayita mu parking yard. It is true. There is no pass there.
So there was no reason why a person going to vote would go to a parking yard unless he has gone for a different reason at the parking yard.
Ekitegeeza tewali nsonga muntu eyali emutwala mu parking yard.
Omuntu agenda okulonda.
Omuntu agenda okulonda kuyita mu parking yard. Tewali nsonga yonna.
Tewali okujjako ng'ogenda kulya kintu tebapiti oba ki.
There was no any reason.
And on this day you didn't have any motorbike at the parking yard. You.
Kati naawe wennyini kolo mu parking yard eyo tewalinayo.
Parking awo parking wala nnyo kwe.
I don't park in that parking.
In fact, you don't even work there at the parking yard, and you never worked there.
Era sikyokolera.
Si wenkolera just mbeerawo.
I don't work in that parking yard.
So,
chill from there.
The only reason why a person who is going to vote would go to a parking yard is to get any other issue not to do with voting.
Ekitegeeza omuntu yenna aba agenze mu parking yard eyo ya Zion aba agenzeeyo ensonga so teryali nasi ya kulonda.
Mpozi ng'olina ky'oyagalayo naye nga tewali kuwuliyitamu.
Unless you need something there but there is no parking.
And similarly, to use your words, supposing whether you the only reason why you went there had nothing to do with the election. You had another agenda not to do with the voting.
Nga bw'okigambye nti omuntu aba alina ky'ayagala bwagazi naawe Paul okugendayo kwali olina by'oyagala bwagazi. It is true, I just needed some things there.
Have you ever seen or met Ben Talimukasa, whom you have known for over 10 years, with Honorable Nalukota?
Wali osinkanyeko Ntale Ben Mukasa bw'omanyidde emyaka 10 nga bw'oli kirantikeddeko oti ng'ali ne Nalukota. I've never seen Ben Ntale with Nalukota.
And you know Honorable Nalukota very well.
Ate Honorable Nalukota yomumanyi bulungi.
Wamulaba somutegeera.
I don't know him properly, but when I see him, I can identify.
He's in court. Look at the people in court. Is he there?
Mwali wano mu kooti oba ali mu bantu abali wano mu kooti.
Simulaba.
I can't see him.
You can even walk and
Osobola otambula tambula omugenda mu bantu abo.
Mulaba bw'oyo mulabye. Ayambadde gaalubindi yaabo.
Putting on specs.
It's also true that you didn't see him anywhere on voting day. Is it correct?
Kituufu ddala tewamulabako ku lunaku olw'okulonda.
Simulaba n'okuba
True,
olunaku.
I didn't see him.
And you've never met him. Today is the first time you're meeting him physically.
Kati tomusinkana olwairo sosomula omusinkana maaso ku maaso.
Serious or say?
It's not my first time.
Have you? It's also true that you've never met Sylvia Nachole, your counselor, with Honorable Report. I'm saying that he has never met Sylvia, whom he knows, with Honorable Report.
Ogambi tomusinkana nkona Sylvia Nachole nga bali wamu ne Nakola. Kubanga Sylvia ogambi ye mumanyi bulungi. Naye tobasinkana nkoko nga bali babiri.
Olw'Embeera Okulanga Ssaako nga bali babiri Emisamusaamu.
I didn't see Sylvia Nachole.
You've told court that Sylvia is NUP, is a National Unity Platform for Support, correct?
Ogambye Sylvia Nachole wa NUP.
And you are aware that NUP has thousands of supporters, is that correct?
Ate ogambye NUP
Actually, millions.
eyina millioni z'abagoberezi bantu bangi.
You agree with me?
Okkanye naye gwe.
Bulungi.
Ogambye Sylvia Nachole wa NUP.
You have told this, you said it.
Era n'ogamba nti NUP eyina okkiriziganya naye nti NUP eyina abagoberezi bangi balina miliyoni.
Kimanyi.
I don't know that.
In your area, NUP has many supporters, that's correct, where you stay.
Ate mu kitundu kyammwe ky'obeera mubusuubira ddala NUP eyina abagoberezi bangi.
Kumanya kwasinga byabufuzi.
I can't tell that. I'm not a...
You told court, you know, you don't choose what to answer, what not. You say you follow current affairs. Which current affairs do you follow?
Ogambye naye ogoberera nnyo Amawulire bigenda maaso mu ggwanga. Byogoberera nnyo.
Okusinga bagira nti olwamuntu kuba ne mu kulonda mwalimu bakyali bange esinga kugamba.
I don't think what happened.
You voted?
Prime Minister, next time when you want to make a call, you just walk out
How
of
many
here so that
political
we know
parties
that you're
do
busy, you're making a
Candidates
call,
are
just out of respect for the House.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Let me restate it again. Right Honourable Speaker, we appropriated money for drugs for all hospitals, health center, 4s, 2s and 3. Right Honourable Speaker, I visited Mulago and I've received complaint from my health centers. The plan for distribution of drug has not matched with what was the plan that was issued. As of now, we are reaching the end of the financial year. Isn't it proper for the Right Honourable Prime Minister to give us a status report for drug distribution to all health centers in the country for the last half of the financial year?
So the Prime Minister will bring the report on Tuesday or Wednesday.
You know that Sylvia Nachole is NUP. You who doesn't follow politics.
Wamanyi otya Sylvia Nachole?
You are NUP.
Kandi Nachole namumanya bansonga ebinkwatako mbimanya
Please answer, how did you know that she is NUP? Have you seen her party card before?
Ayagala kuddamu kibuuzo. Wamanyi otya Sylvia Nachole wa NUP? Kubanga omumanyi wa
Odi mumanyi ngawe mulaba so nebipande.
I know her.
I know her.
Have you not answered yet? How?
Naye wamanyi otya Barowa omumanyi wennyini naye wamanyi otya Nnyo.
Ebipande ebiraba.
I
N'akabonero ka Ennyo kamanyi Amawulire.
I know her posters and I know the umbrella.
Have you seen any other posters of NUP people in your area, in Chiganda? Have you seen any other posters? They are still saying
Olina ebipande ebirala by'olabyeko eby'abantu abafuze
Kimanyi.
NUP.
Article 94,
124B of the Constitution and Rules of Procedure, 127 and 128 of the Rules of Parliament permit a member to move a private member's bill, aware that the establishment, general governance and regulations of savings and credit cooperative societies in Uganda is undertaken under the Cooperative Societies Act, CAP 107, and Tier 4, Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act, CAP 61, and the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 58, noting that an entity that intends to operate in Uganda as a savings and credit cooperative society is required under the Cooperative Societies Act to apply to the Register of Cooperatives under the Ministry of Trade for registration and issuance of a certificate of registration as a cooperative society, further noting that once a savings and credit cooperative society is registered and issued a certificate of registration under the Cooperative Societies Act, the savings and credit cooperative society is required under the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act to apply and obtain from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development a license to operate the business of savings and credit, recognizing that in addition to the requirements imposed on savings and credit cooperative societies under the Cooperative Societies Act and Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act, the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 61, requires savings and credit cooperative societies which have voluntary savings in excess of 1,500,000,000 and institutional capital above 500 million to be licensed by Bank of Uganda to transact microfinance business among their members. Concerned that the requirements on savings and credit cooperative societies under the Cooperative Societies Act, the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions Act, and the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act have resulted in multiple overlapping regulatory and licensing requirements, thereby creating a complex business environment for savings and credit cooperative societies, leading to increased costs, potential for errors, and difficulties in complying with all obligations imposed under the law. Further concerned that the provisions under the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, bringing cooperative societies under the supervision of Bank of Uganda, ignore the fact that the structures, modalities, operations, and principles of savings and credit cooperative societies are different from those of microfinance deposit-taking institutions, since cooperatives, by their nature, are more concerned with their members' welfare and cooperation, while microfinance deposit-taking institutions are profit-driven. Cognizant that whereas the capital requirements for microfinance deposit-taking institutions are easy to prescribe, defining regulatory capital requirements for savings and credit cooperative societies is particularly challenging, since capital invested by members of a savings and credit cooperative society may be withdrawn at any time, thereby fluctuating the voluntary savings and institutional capital held by savings and credit cooperative societies, and rendering the savings and capital requirements imposed under the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act impossible to achieve. Firmly convinced that there is urgent need to amend the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 58, to remove all references to registered societies made under the Act in order to harmonize the regulatory framework applicable to savings and credit cooperative societies in Uganda. Now, therefore, this motion is moved that this Parliament accepts the introduction of a bill for an act entitled the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Amendment Bill, a draft of which is attached here to Right Honourable Speaker. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honourable Migande. Seconded. Seconded. Susan, Isaac, Timu, Sarah, Gureme, Dr. Ruyonga, Catherine, Honourable Ennyo, Honourable Onekesa, Okoti, Kweni, Karamoja. Thank you, thank you. Would you want to speak to your motion?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and I thank the colleagues for the overwhelming secondment. Honorable Speaker, my justification is the laws governing operations of SACCOs in Uganda include the Cooperative Societies Act, CAP 107, and the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions Act. An entity that intends to operate in Uganda as a SACCO must fulfill the following: 1, which is A, obtain a certificate of registration from the Register of Cooperatives as required under the Cooperative Societies Act. B, obtain a license to operate the business of savings and credit from the ministry responsible for finance as required under the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act. C, if the SACCO has a voluntary savings in excess of 1,500,000,000 shillings and institutional capital of 500 million, obtain a license from Bank of Uganda to transact microfinance business among their members as required in the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 61. The requirement to obtain a license from the Bank of Uganda under the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 61, was a recent requirement introduced in 2016. Prior to the 2016, SACCOs were regulated by Register of Cooperatives and be issued with a license to operate savings and credit business. In 2016, Parliament, through the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 2016, made various amendments to the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 203 to extend the application of the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003 to cooperative societies registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. The amendment made by the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 2016 to the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003 include, among others, a new definition of a registered society and a provision extending the application of the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 203 to registered societies which have voluntary savings in excess of 1 billion. The amendment extended the application of the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act to SACCOs which have voluntary savings in excess of 1 billion. The amendment meant that SACCOs were segregated into two categories: those that are regulated by Ministry of Finance and those regulated by Bank of Uganda. Honorable Speaker, this is again the cooperative principle worldwide where SACCOs belong to one regulator. In 2022, government, through the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Amendment Bill 2022, proposed various amendments to the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003, including a proposal to insert a new definition of registered societies and a provision extending the application of the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003 to registered societies. The amendments proposed under the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2022 were similar to amendments that were made by Parliament to the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003 under Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 2016. Parliament rejected the proposals contained in the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Amendment Bill 2022, reasoning that the application of the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act, CAP 58, to cooperative societies will create regulatory ambiguity, since cooperative societies are fundamentally different in structure, operations, goals, and general regulatory framework from microfinance deposit-taking institutions to which the Act applies. Despite the rejection by Parliament of the amendments contained in the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act Bill 2022, the amendments that were earlier introduced to the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2003 under the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 2016 are still applicable to registered cooperative societies, thereby creating a triple regulatory framework which has resulted in cooperative societies being registered and supervised by the Register of Cooperatives in the Ministry of Trade under the Cooperative Societies Act, licensed by the Ministry of Finance under Tier 4 Act, and issued with a license to operate under the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act by Bank of Uganda. The amendments also resulted in multiple and overlapping regulatory licensing requirements, thereby creating a complex business environment for savings and credit cooperative society, leading to increased costs, potential for errors, and difficulties complying with all obligations imposed under the law. The amendments also ignored the fact that the structures, modalities, operations, and principles of savings and credit societies are different, like I stated earlier. The amendment also created compliance challenges, since it is impossible to define capital requirements for savings and credit cooperative, like I mentioned earlier. The bill now proposes to amend the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institutions Act to delimit the application of the act to Ssaakos. This will allow Ssaakos to be regulated under the Cooperative Societies Act Cap 107 and the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act 61. Right Honourable Speaker, for record, the Ssaakos with the capital requirement, for example, is parliamentary Ssaako. In the 4th year, members withdraw their savings to go for campaigns, because many save for that specific. And that means that at every 4th year, if that is the assumption that you save for campaign, then you have the Ssaako will be registered by Bank of Uganda, and in the 4th year it goes back to finance, because then the capital requirement will no longer be there. So there is no reason why we send parliamentary Ssaako, Wazalendo, police Ssaako, URS Ssaako, and all the other. Now you also have the miogas. So that means there is going to come a time when all the miogas are all going to be used by Bank of Uganda. And the right
when the savers withdraw their finances.
Yeah, exactly. What some Ssaakos are now doing is because to limit the reserves. So when they have about 400 million, and they know when you exceed the 500 million, you go to Bank of Uganda. So what they do is to limit membership and to limit deposits, so that they keep within the lower limit. So that's why we move this motion, Right Honourable Speaker. And my prayer is that as the last 1 week we have seen, it is possible to really access a certificate of financial implication within a short period, and that's my prayer.
Thank you. Honourable members, I put a question that Honourable Migade Robert Ndukwa be granted leave to introduce a private member's bill titled the Microfinance Deposit-Taking Institution Amendment Bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. Let's have it. And pursuant to Rule 127(3) of the Rules of Procedure, I will ask the clerk to accord the member the required professional assistance in drafting the bill and ensuring that he gets the certificate of financial implication. And meanwhile, the Prime Minister, we approved money in this House, 33 billion, that the Ssaako, parliamentary Ssaako, was demanding from government. The money was paid by government because government took the parliamentary Ssaako land, and that money was paid. To date, members want their money. The money has not been paid. The money is sitting in some people's offices. As we come back to the House, we want a response from you on what is happening on that money. The chairman of the Ssaako should be able to give you all the information, and you report, because that money is for these members. It's for these members.
Right Honourable, for record, I think it's better the Prime Minister gets this information on record as opposed to when we are out. We thank this Parliament that we cooperated with the government and under compulsory acquisition, and indeed they took the land belonging to us. That's the Uganda Parliamentary Circle. Valuation was done. We met the President and the Right Honourable Speaker through you many times. A number of meetings were held. The reason for those meetings was to have a speedy compensation. This Parliament approved the money through a supplementary, and since we approved the supplementary, this money has not yet been paid. Finance informed us that this money was actually remitted to the Ministry of Defence, and it has been seated on their accounts for now almost a month, actually more than a month. So it beats the understanding. Why do we make supplementary requests? I thought, and when we try to inquire, they are now doing internal processing, the bureaucracy, you call it, is from one table to the other individual. So, Right Honourable Speaker, the appeal we have to the Prime Minister and this Parliament is, can we be paid so that this money reaches our accounts? If it means by close of business today, let it come, because we know the money is actually there. Thank you very much.
Honorable Prime Minister, as we suspend the House, when we return, you'll give us a feedback on that.
Much obliged, Right Honourable Speaker.
And as you've heard, the chairman is saying members want their money. That is, members have been saving, and if you're failing to pay back members their money, then there is a problem. They are not asking for what is not theirs, it is theirs. Now, members will suspend the House for 1 hour for us to receive the budget.
All the